Well, Cowboys Training Camp practice is done for today on Wednesday. Hailey, Sutton, happy to be joined by Bryant B-Mac McFadden. B-Mac, the message all day I feel like that we got was that things feel different out here at training camp, and we both had a chance to catch up with players, but you've had a chance to now see this team practice. What were your takeaways from camp today?
The intensity and just the discipline that's being displayed. And we saw how important that will be for Shadi and this staff because he called up practice, right? We saw a few fights, which happens in training camp. Of course, emotionals get very, very high, but he felt like enough was enough. So he called up practice, brought everyone together, cussed them out a little bit, and made them run. They ran, conditioning, right? And so that tells me that he's emphasizing discipline. If you think about some of the Cowboys teams that we've seen in the years past, and of course you being a faithful fan of the Cowboys, undisciplined football was something that oftentimes showed up in critical moments of a ball game.
Sure.
So clearly he's trying to get that out of their mantra and just instill intensity. So that was a good telling sign because they were not in full pads today, but they were running around and moving like they were in full pads. So clearly intensity is something that they want to display every play.
There was about 3 skirmishes that we saw from our vantage point, different players getting in on the mix. That intensity, though, is what we've seen out of this team. And I had a chance to catch up with Dak Prescott, after practice. He says he feels good coming into the season. And one of the things I asked him about was about all of the wealth of riches that he has on offense, B-Mac. I mean, we both saw CeeDee Lamb. We saw George Pickens. We saw Jake Ferguson get up and extend for a catch there. When you look at the offense and the situation that Dak is coming into this year, what are your thoughts? How far can this team go specifically with the offense?
They have playmakers on this offense. They have a lot of playmakers. I'm talking about in the passing game. We know CeeDee Lamb is one of the best playmakers in the National Football League. George Pickens has been a playmaker considering not the best quarterbacking from what he's seen in years past, but we know what he can do. And Jake Ferguson is a guy that can make plays as well. So when you talked about Dak Prescott echoing about his job being easy, when you look at the outstanding, talented players he has around him, no question, he should be smiling. He was smiling every rep. He had a pep in his step.
Until they had to run.
Until they had to run. So he understands and he sees, man, this could be a very, very special offense, especially if they stay healthy, because he has so many playmakers surrounding him. And then they actually can do what? Help the running game up. Because, yes, we talk about the passing game because of the players deserving so, but we cannot forget about the running game with Javonte Williams taking advantage of this opportunity to be back in a starting lineup once again. So as long as they do what they're supposed to do in the passing game, the running game will be there, and it should be a very, very balanced attack.
There were multiple times where we saw Javonte Williams break off during those 11-on-11 and some of the 7-on-7 stuff we've seen. So the running back room is coming together. What do you think about the red zone efficiency, though? Because I know that's something that you were keyed in on today.
No question. I love red zone football from either side because that's where games are won and lost. And what we saw today, red zone efficiency was at an all-time high from the offensive side. We saw CeeDee Lamb score a touchdown. We saw George Pickens score a touchdown. We saw Jake Ferguson score a touchdown. We saw CeeDee score another touchdown. So the abundance of riches that you mentioned showed up. And that's what you want to see if you're Cowboy fans. You want to see these guys show up in moments like red zone opportunities and moments like third down opportunities. And today, unfortunately, as a former defender, the offense won the day in the red zone. And that should be expected when you talk about the talented players that they have on the offensive side.
The offense is shaping up quite well. We've also seen Kevontae Turpin taking handoffs out of the backfield.
In the backfield,
So expecting to see some special things out of Kevontae Turpin. We know Deuce Vaughn also fighting for a roster spot here. So offense is shaping up quite nice. I'm just a little concerned for the defensive side of the ball here, B-Mac, and your specialty, the secondary, has just been depleted with injuries. We did have a chance. We were up close and personal, though, with those secondary guys. So as you were watching, who did you key in on as having a good practice today?
Kyrie Elam had another outstanding day, intercepted Dak Prescott. If it was real drills, a real situation, I think he would have took it to the house. But he's been able to.
He did. I mean, he took it all the way.
All the way. All the way. But he's taking advantage of the opportunities. Former first-round pick by the Buffalo Bills. Things did not work out accordingly with Buffalo. He has another opportunity here in Dallas. And right now, because of the injuries that you mentioned, he's been running with the ones, and he's been taking advantage of that said opportunity. But they need more because what I saw today in the red zone, lack of communication led to the opportunities for the offense to score touchdowns that I mentioned earlier. You have to find a way to tune those things up, and I think they will, especially when they get the full deck of cards in place. Right now, they're not working with a full deck of cards. You talk about some of the secondary guys that are missing because of injury. Don't forget about Michael Parsons. He wasn't participating today, but he was on the sideline very, very much in tune and involved. But those are expected issues when you have new faces and new places, especially when you're playing against an experienced group of guys on the offensive side that they face off against today and they face off against every day out here in training camp.
It's going to get interesting. We've got that season opener coming against Philly. I don't want to give too much away, but as we wrap up this conversation, B-Mac, you had a chance to talk to Osa Osa. You asked him about that game, and he was very clear that they are focused and ready up for that game. But what'd you take away from your conversation with Osa?
Man, he's fired up. And one thing I can say, he's loving this new coaching staff.
Yeah.
You know, I talked about Shadi. He emphasized the discipline. That's something they're echoing day in and day out. Be disciplined in between the lines. He talked about Matt Eberflus, the attacking mentality that he has instilled into their new scheme defensively, which actually helps Osa being able to penetrate, you know, be disruptive and try to get pressure on opposing quarterbacks, and not to mention be a catalyst for the defensive line. So he's excited and he's fired up, and we all fired up as well, because right now we're at the end of July. Before you know it, that Thursday night in September we'll be here, and guess what? We all will be doing the same thing, getting ready to watch the Dallas Cowboys take on the Philadelphia Eagles, and we got a chance to see them prep for the Eagles today, and it was a pretty good day.
You were on HQ with me when you spoke that game into existence. Eagles, Cowboys, and it is coming quicker than I think I am ready for as a fan. But guys, after seeing this team practice today, I'm feeling pretty good. That's all I'm going to say. For BMAC, I'm Hailey Sutton. We'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you very much. Taking a look at the Cowboys schedule. Well, it all kicks off week 1 against not only their rivals, but the defending Super Bowl champs, the Eagles, on Thursday Night Football. The Cowboys looking to improve on their 7-10 record last season.